Folks, the hoteps are at it again, bruh. Now, we're talking about Brother Polight today. See, Brother Polight have been on the circuit now for about 10 years. I think his biggest look or interview came with his Vlad TV interview or his Breakfast Club interview.
Brother Polight, tell the people who you are for those who don't know. We know Meta World Peace, but who are you for those who don't know?
Brother Polight, head of the Crown Luscious Supreme Grand Apperception of our New Covenant community. I teach on comparative studies of monotheistic religions in retrospect to them being influenced by cultures of antiquity. I'm the author of 90 plus books, created my own language, Ndu Asusu, and presently a celebrity mentor and screenwriter, as well as debater.
Very intelligent brother. That's one thing you can't really take away from him. He's very intelligent. But I sort of fell back from Brother Polight when he started selling courses on felonious activities.
Tonight we'll be talking about adverse possession, where this conversation says, hey, there's many properties that's off the market thanks to the compromise you created in the real estate market. Why should people go around looking to buy very expensive properties when there's that much more properties out here not being used, not being upkept, that we can conduct an adverse possession and bring it back up to date, bring it back up to par?
That's not how the law works. You don't just get to break into $1 million home, fix up the toilet, and think you now own the house. But that's what Brother Polight was teaching these people.
Okay, so good faith standard is what we want to deal with. A good faith standard. But bad faith standard may not necessarily be bad, because you may know who the property owners are of a factory of some sort, and they just neglect it completely. They don't use it. They have no interest in it, and you adversely possess the property. They don't want to use it. You go in and you use it. Why should you go around looking for one that's built when there's one already there? The law was constructed in such a way that it's based on interpretation, not based on legitimacy.
This is Zachariah Latney. When he was 19 years old, he purchased Brother Polight's adverse possession course and decided to put it to use. And he managed to adverse possession his ass into a couple of felonies. Zachariah admitted that he was inspired by Brother Polight. So using Brother Polight's courses on adverse possession, he broke into a local hibachi restaurant that was abandoned, hopped in, made some fixes, and tried to file paperwork to own a property that was worth up to $1 million. Once folks realized what he was doing, they called the sheriff. Zachariah got arrested and ultimately got convicted and sentenced to 2.5 to 7 years in prison for following a Brother Polight course. Now, Zachariah at sentencing was given some leniency because the judge said it seems as if he was brainwashed by Brother Polight. Zachariah admitted in court the real estate or legal fiction book by Brother Polight inspired him to go out and try to steal his own properties. Zachariah still holds accountability, but if you're giving out bad advice that landed a kid in jail for 2 to 7 years, you're not really my type of guy. And this was even before I found out that he was out here scamming sickly people and leading them to an early grave.
Yo, what up, YouTube? So, I feel people are owed an explanation of why the crypto course isn't happening. And the real reason is because Polight owes me over 100 grand. He owes me a lot of money. And he hasn't barely paid me anything. And the money I gave him was from my father's life insurance. I was sleeping on the beach and my father died from a heart attack. And I didn't know I was getting money. I got some life insurance money. He used me. He ended up using me. And him and his family were living off me. I was paying for everything. His cars were rented. I didn't even realize what was happening. And every time I got uncomfortable, and he would just either yell at me or like say, oh, I get it, I understand, you're gonna make a lot of money, you're gonna make a lot of money.
That brother name is Crypto Roots. He ended up passing shortly after without receiving a dime from Brother Polight. The exposing Brother Polight era of YouTube was an amazing time. Like, it was gold, grade A content. It was amazing. But even though the scamming is bad and the bad advice to lead kids to felonies, that's bad too, I don't think nothing raised people's eyebrows more than his defense of Dr. York, the convicted child molester.
But see, I'm speaking on behalf of the children the people that had to testify or that testified.
Had to testify based on what that he did do something to them.
Well, I say had to testify because some people didn't testify. So some people felt it in that they had to do this, like it's something that they had to do. For me, it felt like it was something that I had to do because one, like I told you, both of my sisters went through the same thing I went through.
And
both of my older sisters.
Do you mind sharing? I don't know nothing.
Sharing what? Okay, well, both of my sisters have been molested.
By who?
By Malachi York.
At the end of the day, he's locked up, so obviously they took y'all word over everyone else's. It doesn't matter, like I told you, if we say he's innocent, when he's still locked up in prison. Y'all word accounted for everything. Doc is being railroaded. That people are saying none of this has to do with the case as far as the government is concerned. The government don't give a damn about the accusations.
Saying that
are you hearing what I'm saying?
You got people saying
that clip is horrendous. Brother Polight is debating and arguing down an actual victim of Dr. York, who was molested at 12 years old along with his sisters. He's defending the molester and arguing the victim down and telling the victim how he's not a molester and how Dr. York was railroaded and he's innocent. It's absolutely insane. Now, usually people would assume if you're defending a molester on that level, the chances are you're probably willing and dealing in the same field he is. But my mind really don't work like that. See, how I work is I give people credit for being bad people. So if I go outside and get in an argument with a white dude who is shouting at me for no reason and being aggressive and mean to me, I would just say, yo, he's a bad person. I feel like I'll be wrong if I automatically assume that white man was racist because I had a bad interaction with him. Just like I thought I would have been wrong by assuming Brother Polight was also a molester and a pedo, right? By him defending the pedo that much. But boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Because it turns out Brother Polight is actually a pedo. He's actually a molester.
Michael Nowak, a.k.a. Brother Polight, as you guys know him as, was just released from Miami, and he was charged with raping his girlfriend, 14-year-old daughter, okay, in a hotel room. All right, now, and before you say, oh, they're just trying to take him down, no, they got his motherfucking semen.
Brother Polight was arrested August 19, 2021 for sexual battery on his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter. Polight reportedly alerted the mother that he wanted to have a conversation with the little girl in the hotel's lobby. But instead of staying in the hotel's lobby, Brother Polight actually took her and drove her to a party, gave her a bunch of alcohol to consume, gave her a lot of drugs to take, and once she was under the influence and barely mobile, Brother Polight raped her, and then brought her back home intoxicated and under drugs and expected the mother not to call the police. The mom called the police, and that led to them doing like a rape kit. But despite the preponderance of evidence, including his semen being found on the 14-year-old girl, Brother Polight will still maintain his innocence.
Oh, peace, Brother Polight.
Hey, what's up, King?
Well, I want you to know I'm live. Do you want to talk or no?
I'm actually traveling, but what's going on?
All right, I'm quite sure you see the internet is lit up. People is talking crazy. And
yeah, Unc just told me something crazy.
Yeah, people are talking crazy that you had molested a 14-year-old girl. I don't know how true it is. That's why I said I'm not going to jump out the window. I'm not saying none of that until we can find out what's really good. And I don't know if you want to talk or we could set something up probably tomorrow whenever you stop traveling or whatever.
You know we don't play those games. Just like when niggas was coming at me with all the goofy shit before.
Okay.
You know, when people make serious allegations like that, you know YouTube ain't the place where you deal with it.
Got you. I got you,
I stay with our whole fucking legal team. You know what I'm saying?
Say less.
But what I'll tell you is this. You know, I ain't no fucking weirdo. You see all the beautiful, voluptuous people I be with.
Yeah.
So I ain't a weirdo. That's what it is, but I know what it is for people.
His response to his semen being found on his 14-year-old girl was, you know I'm not no weirdo, man. I got a bunch of voluptuous women around me. As if that ever stopped other weirdos from chasing after young women. Now, Brother Polight would maintain his innocence and swear that he's innocent, even though his DNA, his semen was found on the 14-year-old girl. But his proclaim to innocence didn't last long because Brother Polight would plead guilty to the charges shortly after.
Well, it looks like I was right again. Brother Polight, also known as Michael Nowak, has pled guilty. Yes, you heard me correctly. Brother Polight has pled guilty to one, if not all, of these charges listed right here on the screen. over 2 years ago, he was accused of having inappropriate dealings with a 14-year-old. And y'all came on here and y'all called me a coon, an agent, and a self-hating black man. Well, not only is your big homie a scammer, thief, and a liar, but now your big homie is a chomo. Don't believe me? Let's get to the footage with this attorney entering into the plea deal.
For the record, David Harris on behalf of the defendant, Michael Nowak. Okay, thank
Here
you.
we go.
And I believe there
See,
may
I
have
told
been
you, Yates, you just
a couple of people on Zoom. Okay, yes, ma'am. State.
Your Honor, I believe at this time, we'll be asking for a joint continuance, but to set this case rate plea.
Or so we thought, because Brother Polight was so dedicated to fooling the public into thinking he wasn't a pedo that after it was caught on camera, his lawyer in court with the prosecutors telling the judge, hey, we came to an agreement on a plea deal. We just need some time to sort things out. Brother Polight would then come on his YouTube and say, I did not take no plea deal. I'm fighting this case. As a matter of fact, I'm suing anybody who reports I took a plea deal.
So I'm just here to address some popular rumors that have been spread to rectify the matter. There's been a rumor spread. There's two main rumors that's been spread. But the main rumor is that I have pled guilty to child molestation. So let me clear up the two things that need to be addressed. Did I make a plea? There's been no plea. Did I plead guilty to child molestation? Never did.
With that much conviction, with that much emotion, you would almost forget that Brother Polight is a pathological liar. Because after commenting online and swearing up and down that he would never take a plea deal to abusing children or to molestation, well, Brother Polight took his happy feet down to that courtroom, pled guilty, and got sentenced to 7 years in prison.
Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of deliberate contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931. Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation.
And despite being captured on a Zoom call pleading guilty to these charges and being sentenced to 7 years in prison, Brother Polight would drop a video shortly after the Zoom call ended. Now, he was led away in cuffs, so he's in jail. So this video was already pre-planned to be released. So he pre-released this video to where he's saying his charges were dropped, and thanks to the Most High, he's innocent.
Blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge. I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to drop all of the sexual charges.
They ain't drop a goddamn thing. They upgraded the charges to felony aggravated assault that caused great bodily harm. Now, he's playing on semantics thinking that nobody would know. But here's the thing. Like, he wants you all to believe that the judge and the court, they believe that he didn't sexually abuse his girl when that's just not true, because the judge sentenced Brother Polight to also complete a sex offender program. He's able to avoid the sex offender registry, but he has to complete a sex offender program. If you didn't touch that girl, if you're not being charged with touching that girl, then why are they requiring you to complete a sex offender program? It doesn't make no sense. And the mom was actually in court, and she gave a victim statement testimony, and it was powerful.
This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster.
So by no means are they dropping any charges, but thankfully Polight got 7 years, and the nightmare at least will be ceased for 7 years until he comes home and find another scam. But speaking of scammers though, click on the video somewhere on my screen to find out how new evidence proves the viral brick lady didn't actually get hit by a brick, that she scammed us all. Click on this video to find out how she scammed us, all right? I'm see you guys in this video. Out of here, folks. Peace.